back to Shall We Stamp, where we help you unleash your creativity. Today we're going to be doing a black and white card, and we're going to be using the Happy Day stamp set from Stampin' Up. And it's got 6 stamps in there. We're going to be using the flower stamp and then Sweet Sweet Moments. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of black cardstock that's 5.5 by 4. And that's all we're going to do. It's just one sheet. That's going to be our base sheet. And then I've cut a 7.5 by 5 piece of white cardstock, and then I've trimmed it by 1/4 of an inch, and that's going to give me a little strip, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. We're going to stamp that and add it as a border to our stamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out, bear with me one second, I just left my circle punch. We're going to cut a circle in this white cardstock. So we are going to put the white cardstock in all the way back as far as we can go with our punch and try to center it. And then we're just going to punch a center in the white card. So that's going to be the first thing that we're going to do. All right, so from there, this will be the top of our card. So we will adhere that to here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to put my snail on here. And again, I use the snail from one just on all 4 corners. And with the black being cut, and I'll put the dimensions at the end of the video so you don't need to try to take notes. So we're going to have this with a border of the black on the outside. So this is going to be the beginning of how our stamp's going to look. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I've gone ahead and stamped 2 of the flower stamps here, and we're going to punch these out. So the next step I'm going to use is the 2 3/8 inch scallop. So we're going to cut out one of these. I'm sorry, pardon me, that's wrong. Excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to punch out a black piece of cardstock with the 2 3/8 scallop. Then we're going to take, sorry about that, the scallop punch, and we're going to punch out the flower. And it's not going to exactly line up, but you'll get the gist of it. We just want to kind of make it look like it's scalloped. And so I'm going to try to line this up to the best that I can. Get a little bit of a white border. Bear with me, I need to look at this. So that's probably good right there. So I'm going to punch that out. And again, this is one of our older whale tails stamp sets that punches. I now go to the flatter ones because they're easy to store. So what we're going to do is we're going to start adhering these and layer them onto the cardstock to make the card. And bear with me, I'm trying to get my dimensionals. Of course, I didn't prepare everything. So we're going to pop these up on dimensionals as we go. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is we have our black, we have our white. Now we're going to punch out 1 3/8 of just a black round circle using our black cardstock, and that's going to be layered on top. Now, if you have a smaller scallop punch, you can do the scallop as well. And then on this one, we're going to use our 7/8 scallop punch, and we're just going to punch out the center of this stamp. And again, I'm going to try to line it up. So, whoops, I'm trying to show it to you, and I want to get it centered. Okay, so we're punching that out. So there we go. We have all our punches. All right, so we're going to set that aside. Now, what I also did was, with the trimmed pieces, I'm going to go ahead and stamp these. This is a pretty easy card to do. So I'm going to take these and I'm just going to ink up the stamp, which is the same flower stamp that we used. And I'm just using our black ink pad. And I'm just going to go through here and stamp the design on the white strips so that it kind of blends with what we're doing in the card. So as you can see, we're just going to stamp it all the way down on the edge. All right? So we're going to set that aside until we get done. Now we're going to go ahead and build our scallop flower. So we're going to take our black scallop. Then we are going to add, I'm going to go ahead and snail the first white. So I'm going to put this scallop on here. And now on the black scallop, I'm going to go ahead and use a snail, because I want to pop this up. I want to give it a little bit of dimension. And we're going to pop that up. And before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my smaller scallop. We're going to put that right in the center. All right, so we're going to go ahead and adhere these with our dimensionals, which you can't live without dimensionals, that's for sure. And then on the top of that, you can add a piece of bling or a pearl. And I'm going to use one of our pearls that Stampin' Up! Provides. And I am going to, if I can locate my scissors, which again, my snips. I always use my snips to be able to remove the pearls from the paper. They are adhesive, so I just kind of lift them up a little bit. And then I'm going to move that one over there. I'm going to place that right here. This is just going to kind of dress up the card. So now we have our flower with the scallops punched out. And then I'm going to put some snail on the back. It's a pretty easy, fast card, actually. And just lay it inside the circle and pop it down. Okay? So far, that's what we've got. Now, I could have stamped my sentiment first, so I'm just going to go ahead and open my card and stamp it on the front because I don't want to get any, I don't want it to be uneven so the stamp doesn't stamp. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the, actually, I think I will do Sweet Sweet Moments. So we're going to go ahead and do the Sweet Sweet Moments in the same Happy Day stamp set. So this is another way that you can see how you can use your stamps, one stamp set for various types of cards. So we're going to go ahead and, again, we're going to stamp that in black ink. And I've got it stamped pretty well. So we're just going to stamp right here, Sweet Sweet Moments. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of, and this is a retired ribbon, but it's black and white, so I thought it would work perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this, and I'm just going to run it from one edge to the other. So I'm going to get it on here, and then I'm going to trim it with my scissors so that I can get it straight. And then I'm going to do what I call the cheating bow, because I'm going to take a piece and I'm going to use this piece, and then I'm going to tie it to make it look like a knot. So give me just a minute, and let's go ahead and let me trim this down using my ribbon scissors. Everybody in class laughs at me because I don't like them to use my scissors. They're only to be used for ribbon, and they laugh. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail here so that I can cut that off once I adhere. And you can use snail or you can use glue dots, whichever it's your preference. So I'm going to just lay this on here, and then I'm going to not push the center in yet because I want to be able to put my piece underneath so I can tie my bow, and then we'll adhere this down. So I'm going to get that in there, and then I'm going to pull this piece. I hope you can see. And this is what I call the cheating bow. In my classes, we always laugh that we are bow challenged because we have a hard time tying bows. So I'm really just going to tie a knot in this, and then we're going to trim it up. And I thought the black and white ribbon here will look really nice since we're doing a black and white card. So, all right, so we've got it all adhered. Let me just move this over and get it straight. Alrighty. So I'm going to trim this with my, as I drop stuff on the floor, I'm going to trim this, and again, bear with me one second because it's not straight. I want to make sure we get it straight. And obviously the black and white squares throw it off a little bit as well. So we've got that on there. I'm just going to trim my pieces right here. Alright, so we've got that. And make sure that's glued down really well. We've got our square knot. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little sheet that I trimmed, and we're going to lay that right there on the side. So I'm going to put some adhesive on that and make sure I get all the edges so we can get it to stay down. And we're just going to take and line this up on the edge of the white card. Again, this is just giving it a little bit of, just an additional bit of bling. So I'm going to take my bone folder and just press it down, make sure I get it on there. Nice and neat and straight. And let's see, there we go. Now that was a very quick and easy, isn't that a beautiful card? And you can change the sentiment or the color scheme to whatever you want. If you don't want to put a pearl there, you can place a rhinestone, one of our larger rhinestones. So there you go. This is our simple black and white card. So thank you for visiting Shall We Stamp? And if you need to purchase any of these supplies to make this card, please contact me at dawn@shallwestamp.com or visit my website at shallwestamp.com. Again, I'm here to help you unleash your creativity, and thanks for